After 3 days of travelling, we finally made it tonight to Campbeltown and the Mull of Kintyre. And tomorrow morning we start from here with our fellow travellers, and we're riding via Crinan tomorrow up to Tarbert to start a ride on the Caledonian Way all the way to Inverness. We've come to the beach to look for the Anthony Gormley statue.
Captured on film, thank you very much for your answer.
So this is where the turn-off would be if we were going into Caradale, but we're not going that way today. So straight after lunch, we're into a 14% climb. So a little detour off the route now, we're going to drop down to Skipness Castle. A look there. Lovely azalea too, isn't it? On your right. So from Campbeltown this morning, we followed the west coast of the Mull of Kintyre, and we had great views to Arran much of the way today. Yeah, the profile was kind of a bit like this, up and down, up and down. So we've so far covered about 2,500 feet, I believe, just having afternoon tea here near the Caledonian ferry, which we've seen coming and going a couple of times. And then we took a little detour up to Inverness Castle beyond there for a little look around there as well, and now came back here. So a couple of extra miles to the planned route. And now I think we'll get possibly the biggest climb of the day still to come, which is over the top, and then we'll be down into Tarbert, where we'll spend this evening. It's been a great day cycling.
If you've got any issues, now's the time to fix them. Pull back. Yeah, no, I have no sympathy for this. This is rather a cheeky little climb, grading at about 12%, and only halfway still. So it's day 2 of the Caledonian Way, and we left Tarbert this morning in glorious weather, which has been all day, and we soon left the harbour at sea level, climbing up through some lovely woodland lanes, edged with loads of wild bluebells and garlic. It was beautiful. More undulations followed, of course, and after gaining a bit more elevation and ups and downs, we had a beautiful stop for our tea break today, with the Paps of Jura in the background, and all the bikes lined up next to a rundown old cottage. It was lovely, beautiful, beautiful setting. Not long after our tea break, we came to sea level again, and we were very fortunate to see several seals basking in the sunshine, enjoying the weather, as we ourselves were too. No, absolutely not, no. And I don't remember seeing John too much after that, as I climbed away and away and away, up and up and up, for a climb that lasted well over 20 minutes, at my speed anyway. Whew. That was hard. But downhill now, I hope, to lunch. We're nearly at lunchtime. Lovely. Stunning location again for our lunch stop today, and beautiful food provided today by Easy. And after that we split into 2 groups. One group went back through an off-road track, which was quite a lot of elevation, while the rest of us enjoyed a long downhill all the way into Loch Gilpad, with just the last mile or so along the stunning Crinan Canal. So I'm sitting tonight, we had quite an early finish today, so I'm sitting with my sketchbook and pencil, hoping to do a little scene here. And tonight we're going to have the loch view from the Taj Mahal restaurant in Loch Gilpad. Fantastic day.
When I hear them say there's better living, let them go their way. To that new living, I won't ever stray, 'cause this is heaven to me. yes or no. It's me who'll speak it, 'cause the Lord, He knows that this is heaven to me. If you've got your hands and got your feet to sing your song all through the street, you raise your head when day is done. Shout your thanks up to the sun.
Yeah, stopping.
When I hear them say there's better living, let them go their way to that new living. I won't ever stray, 'cause this is heaven to me.
See how far I can get with this.
If you've got your hands and got your feet to sing your song all through the street, you raise your head when day is done. Shout your thanks up to the sun. And when I hear them say there's better living, let them go their way to that new living.
Come on, put some effort in.
Stray,
I'm holding it up.
'cause this is heaven to me. 'Cause this is heaven to me.
Wow, what a day today was. We left Loch Oilhead this morning and we did a gentle few miles along the Crinan Canal, which was looking spectacular with the blue sky today. Lovely ride, and then we took off from that onto a kind of bit more of a track, which took us to a lovely picnic stop for our tea break at, I think it was Kilmartin, through the Kilmartin area. We then had to do quite a lot of climbing. In total today it was over 3,700 feet, and I wasn't quite expecting that today. I did okay until we came to some 14% climbs, and then I had to just basically get off and walk for 100 yards or so. Yep. Anyway, lots more ups and downs and undulations. Spectacular scenery today as we climbed high over Loch Awe, which is where we are tonight in Loch Awe. We're finishing our day here at Connel. So a lovely lunch stop, eventually coming down to kind of like a small holding, some sheep and lambs and things like that, a lovely farm stop. And the chef today looking after our catering needs was Richard. Did a great job, lovely lunch today, some chicken included today. Fed and watered after lunch, a lovely afternoon run, not so difficult.
Look down that lonesome road.
Wow, look at that.
before you travel on. Look up and greet your maker. For Gabriel blows his horn. Weary totem, such a heavy load, trudging down that lonesome road.
The highlight of the day was through a beautiful valley where we passed lots and lots of sheep with their young lambs, then over numerous cattle grids, often on cattle grids, finally to an area where the Highland cattle were literally sat on the road and also sitting under the tree beside us. They moved out the way fine, so that was very nice to see the Highland cattle. Over on the road, oh my goodness. Is there? Yeah, okay, I'll come in. Or maybe the cows moved out the way even. Little baby ones, oh, let's just stop here, shall we? Having had our tea break around the 42-mile mark, around another 10 miles to go today for our longest ride so far, 52 miles. Lots and lots of lovely long downhills in our last few miles into Connel this evening, and my Garmin tells me I hit 32 miles an hour today, so some amazing downhills. I'm arrived in Connel. It's just a stunning location here tonight. We're staying tonight just over my shoulder in the Oyster Inn at Connel. We'll leave tomorrow morning over the Connel Bridge and the next adventure begins. So all in all, a wowzer of a day, fantastic, temperature mid-20s, so perfect for cycling. Great fun today, loved it. A lovely ride this morning with lots of tree canopies keeping us cool, as well as lots more bluebells and wild garlic as part of our journey this morning. As we left the old railway tracks, we took off into an old forest with some beautiful tree canopies, and the light catching the trunks was just beautiful. I've lost them all, they've gone ahead, but I'll find them in a second. Thank you. We were heading initially towards Port Appin for our tea stop, and along the way we had some lovely old forest tracks as well, with views to Castle Stocker. Yep. Gorgeous, isn't it? Beautiful. Yeah, oh, is it? Right. So this is after a cheeky uphill. This is the view at Kintallen, village of Kintallen. Late in the morning we were heading to cross the bridge into Ballachulish. The planned stop in a car park there unfortunately didn't quite work, but thanks to the charm of Easy, one of our guides, we ended up in a private driveway of someone's garden. The lady very accommodating, including even allowing us to use her loo. From there, just a few minutes on footpath towards our ferry at Crinan, which took us across the water in a matter of 5 minutes or so, across to, I think it's called Ardgour. Reaching Ardgour, I've plenty of time for a leisurely ride now because the next ferry crossing wasn't until 4:30. So we had actually a couple of hours just to do a few miles, and as the journey continued we caught our first glimpse of Ben Nevis along the route, and which also included Highland cattle, and John spotted a deer. A very nice pleasant route, mostly flat, all the way to catch the ferry to Fort William. It's quite a small ferry crossing to Fort William, so when it arrived bang on time at 4:30 with all our bikes lined up, we soon realised we might not all get on this ferry, and so Richard and I were left behind while the others disappeared, not quite into the sunset, but disappeared to Fort William. We were picked up again by the ferry, thankfully, about half an hour later. We left Fort William this morning, a little bit cooler, so a few jackets were worn this morning as we joined the Caledonian Canal. Beautiful ride along there with the gorse looking lovely again. And we were fortunate, after a few miles we came to what's called Neptune's Staircase, which is the series of locks in the canal. And the timing was perfect because the swing bridge was opening, which meant that traffic didn't cross, and 2 boats then sailed into the locks. That was a bit of fun. So we spent a few minutes there watching that happening. A few more miles of pedalling enjoying the canal brought us to our morning tea break. Scones and cream, my word, yes, you've excelled yourself. Yes, thank you. Well done, lovely. Scones and cream. There is a sort of semi-permanent detour in place on the canal system at the moment, which means you have to climb way up through a forest track and keep going, beautiful forestry. And then we came to a switchback system, better surface there, but it was more than 10% grade as we went up 2 or 3 hairpin bends to the top. But as they say, no pain, no gain, so at top we enjoyed beautiful views over Loch Lochy, which we would not have had the detour not been in place. A very enjoyable downhill now brought us down to lunch, and we had lunch sitting enjoying the view of the hill we just climbed that morning, sitting at Lagan Loch. We soon joined an old railway track which passed the station at Inverness. So a lovely path along the railway line, nice and flat for a few miles. So I've stopped just beyond Inverness, old station. We're on the railway line, and the beautiful little island in the middle of the loch. Gorgeous. We just missed a heron taking off. Woo woo! We finished our pedalling into the beautiful setting here of Fort Augustus, and in the background is Loch Ness, of course. We might do a little bit of Nessie spotting tomorrow as we climb away from the loch. Final climb of the week. So a great day. Lots of gravel, but a great day.
Hey, Mama, rock me.
Oh, here it comes.
Feeling pretty rough with a cold in that final morning, I was seriously considering asking for a lift in the van, since we were straight into a 5-mile climb up Glendole, which included a couple of red sections of 14+%. That was going to take at least 45 minutes. The Garmin profile looked horrible.
Right, this is the start of the red section.
I decided to give it a go, fully expecting to walk some sections and limp in last.
I'm almost at the top of the second red section. Then it goes to yellow, then to green. So I'm feeling like I might just make it. Oh. So this is me at the top of the second red section. I'm stopping for 30 seconds to take my jacket off, and I'm absolutely boiling. A bit more climbing to come. Whew.
Best things you ever had, the summer shorn. Beat down on bonehead back, so far from home where the ocean stood. Down dust and pine bone tracks.
Climb complete. Woo! And there is the Saddle Skedaddle van. Ah. Oh God, I'm knackered. Where's John? Oh, he's there.
Great views at the top, and after hot breakfast rolls it had to be downhill all the way. Until it wasn't, but mostly gentle undulations for the rest of the day.
Hot sand on toes, coats and in sleeping bags. I come to know the friends around you are all you'll always have. Smoke in my lungs, or the echoes stone, careless and young. Free as the bird.
We passed the Falls of Foy sign, but with the lack of rain the last few weeks we decided to press on to our lunch stop on the banks of Loch Ness.
We stood steady as the stars in the wood, so happy heart in the warm.
Another great lunch stop, and where we gathered with all 3 Saddle Skedaddle guides for our final team photo, thanks to my drone.
Steady as the stars in the woods, so happy heart in the warm. Bring true inside these bones.
Following the loch as far as Doors Beach, we turned off into some delightful lanes for our final few miles before a huge culture shock and busy traffic as we headed into Inverness to our final accommodation. A fabulous week, great variety of routes, faultless service from our guides and the good company of fellow cyclists. Not a drop of rain and no midges either. Still can't quite believe I did that. 243 miles and 15,672 feet.